What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be talking about last night's draft. Now, I know they're going to have some people, they're going to pick some people today, like this morning, if they haven't already, which I will address that maybe later tonight or tomorrow. Last night's draft, the first pick went to SmackDown, and they picked the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. Now, in my opinion, actually no, wait, I almost forgot. They also picked Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa to get all together. In my opinion, if you get the first pick, you gotta pick Roman Reigns. I totally agree on that. I feel Roman, Solo, and Paul, they could do some things. They could do some things together. The Usos, there's some trouble in the bloodline. I can't wait to see how that goes. Hoping the Usos get drafted to SmackDown. And then Raw got the next pick, and they picked the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Now, Cody Rhodes is my favorite wrestler right now, and I love Cody. So, I love what he's doing on Raw. I'm so happy he got to stay on Raw. Now, the third pick, it's kind of interesting. Bianca Belair got drafted to SmackDown. I think she's taking the belt with her. So that is going to be very interesting. Unless Rhea gets drafted to Raw. Now, I'm really excited for that. But after that, Becky Lynch got drafted to Monday Night Raw. She's gonna stay on Raw. Good choice by Monday night. Hopefully Trish gets drafted to Raw if she's even eligible. Either way, because they have to finish that rivalry before they could do something. Then the second round, Triple H did not announce. It was Rob Van Dam, RVD, and Michael P.S. Hayes. So, Michael Hayes, he was representing SmackDown. RVD was representing Raw. But the first pick of Friday Night SmackDown, the Street Profits got drafted to SmackDown. And that's an interesting pick. I would love to see what they're doing. I'm glad Montez and Bianca got drafted to the same show. Again, still on the same show. And then RVD announced that Giovanni Vinci, Ludwig Kaiser, and the Intercontinental Champion Gunther are all headed to Monday Night Raw. Now, that's interesting because another title change, and I already know Gunther is going to dominate Monday nights, just the way he dominated Friday Night SmackDown. And I can't wait to see Imperium and Gunther on Monday nights. That is going to be a little interesting. Maybe Gunther is one of the people to win the world, like to either be in the tournament or maybe win the World Heavyweight title. And then, an interesting pick for SmackDown after Imperium. The rated R superstar Edge gets drafted to Friday Night SmackDown. Maybe he could finish his rivalry with Roman. Like maybe he goes back to that. Maybe Judgment Day stays on goes to SmackDown, and he continues that. I'm kind of hoping not. I'm not hoping that Judgment Day gets drafted to SmackDown, or at least all of Judgment Day, because I feel they had a good ending with Edge. They had a good rivalry. They had a good ending. Just keep it that way. Then the next pick, I'm not gonna talk about that much. Matt Riddle's staying on Raw. I don't mind. Matt Riddle. He's good. And then third round draft picks. JBL was representing SmackDown. Teddy Long represented Monday Night Raw. The first pick of round 3 was the almighty Bobby Lashley. Now, Bobby Lashley hasn't been a part of SmackDown. He's appeared on SmackDown this year, but he has not been on SmackDown, a member of the roster, since I think 2009. It was either 2009 or 2008. I know it was in the early 2000s. And that's gonna be interesting. That is gonna be interesting. United States champion, 2-time WWE champion, Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner, ECW champion. The list goes on and on. Intercontinental champion. I just want to see what Bobby Lashley could do. And another interesting pick. Just had to think real quick. Another interesting pick. Right after that, it was Monday Night Raw's turn. They picked the Scottish psychopath, Drew McIntyre. Now, here's the thing. This got me thinking. What if Drew signed a contract that no one knows about, and he is going to Monday Night Raw, and he's gonna stay there and stays on at WWE? Now that will be interesting. I wonder what's gonna happen with that, because his contract I think did expire or is expiring, which that's all we know as of right now. That's gonna be interesting. And then one of my favorite picks of the night, SmackDown selected Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, Michin, and AJ Styles, the OC. I am so interested in what they're going to do, because AJ Styles, I think he's still a little hurt, but he did hit a phenomenal forearm on the Viking Raiders. They're going to have a match this Friday. It's going to be the Viking Raiders versus the Good Brothers. I'm just excited to see what they're going to do. And then Raw selected The Miz. Now, The Miz, I would say this is a good pick, but they've been burying him. So I'm hoping this is a fresh start for The Miz, even though he didn't switch shows. They need to stop burying him. Like, he's good. He's a good wrestler. Can't bury him. I get him. He could lose. I get it. But don't have him lose, and then lose, and then lose, and then lose, and then lose. It gets kind of boring, because every time I see The Miz on TV, I know someone's going to interrupt, or or if he's in a match, I know he's going to lose, because that's how it's been going. And then the fourth round, it was two members of D-Generation X. Shawn Michaels representing, I think they were, Shawn representing Friday Night SmackDown. Road Dogg representing Monday Night Raw. This was an interesting fourth round as SmackDown selects Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky. Damage Control. That is interesting. That is going to be really interesting. It's going to be funny because Bayley's going to be on the same show as Michael Cole. And who knows? Maybe Bayley wins a title. Maybe Damage Control goes after the women's champions. If they go to SmackDown, maybe they'll unveil a new set of women's tag titles. And but Shinsuke Nakamura got drafted to Monday Night Raw, and I'm hoping Rick Boogs also gets drafted to Monday Night Raw just so they could be back together, and they don't bury Rick Boogs. They push Shinsuke to the moon, and maybe they'll eventually break them up after they reunite and have a rivalry, push both guys. But the next two picks, the second to last and the last pick, were both from NXT. The first SmackDown selected Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. So that's going to be really interesting. I know they're going to dominate the women's tag division. I know, and who knows, maybe they take the titles with them, because they kind of indicated that, because Casey Carter and her partner, they kind of like stepped to both of them and said, you're not taking those titles with us. And last but not least, the last draft pick was the NXT Women's Champion, Indi Hartwell. That is going to be very interesting. She is a good women's wrestler, and I can't wait to see what she does.